So when thinking about the kind of investors that you work with, do you mainly work with larger experienced developers, or do you like to invest in those that are at an earlier stage in their careers? Like, how many projects would you like to see a developer has done before you would consider investing?
It very much depends on the person. Like, in an ideal world, would I invest with experienced developers who know what they're doing every time? It's cookie cutter. Kind of like, yes, because it reduces the risk. I've got more confidence that they know what they're doing and that they can deliver. They've seen all the problems and they know how to handle them. But, and I've got a great example for you. I was speaking with the lovely Claire Norwood yesterday,
Yeah.
who's got 2 development projects on the go. And she's not, kind of been in this 30 years like some people have, but her developments are almost on time. There's expected to be a month late, even with lockdown. And the return for investors is more or less spot on what she told them it was going to be. Or that's how it's looking right now.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a newer developer versus, I've got kind of 2 developers I can think of that are very experienced, and we are so way over on time and so annihilated any return that, I'm like, well, actually, I wish I'd put all that money with Claire instead, to be frank. So I think that's where it comes down to, like, you really have to understand the developer and what they have to offer, and also their commitment to it. Like with Claire, she's got an amazing team around her who just are nailing it. Lockdown, kind of didn't stop them in terms of, obviously they complied with everything they had to comply with, but they're just like, how can we keep moving forward? Whereas some people, I think they get a little bored with well, particularly if they've got a number of developments on the go. I think they get a little bored and they decide to chase shiny pennies, or they get distracted with a new kind of ego project or something, and off they go. Meanwhile, the investors in this project are like, hello, do you remember us?
It's not keeping you informed and updated with, just communication.
It's very frustrating. And, again, that's something actually that Claire does and a number of developers do really well. But communication, I think, certainly through lockdown, my advice to developers was, even if there's nothing to tell your investors, just tell them I haven't got anything to tell you this week, but keep those channels of communication open, such that they know. It just builds that trust. I've seen it go wrong a number of times when people stop communicating, because that just starts alarm bells for investors like me.